Did you know that Roy Hodgson is older than the Santiago Bernabeu?
Well, if you look at the Santiago Bernabeu, it's a good stadium.
How old is Santiago Bernabeu?
If you look at Wilf,
How old is the Santiago Bernabeu?
Let's find out.
just keep.
I mean, the new one's very young, but all older than the new one.
Well, apparently,
Yeah, that was
I used to manage Santiago Bernabeu. Good player.
It was built in opened 1947.
1947.
It's 76 years old.
And how old is Hodgson?
Older than 76.
No, what's the what year?
Roy Hodgson.
Does that mean?
He was born in also 1947, but obviously he's 77.
They're age mates.
So he's months older.
So does that mean?
It's like Fuad and the Brighton manager.
Younger than
So
Emirates?
Izzy and the Brighton manager.
Huh? Was that?
Does that mean Ethan Aware is younger than the Emirates?
Ethan Waneri
He's younger than the Emirates. Yeah, he is.
That's scary.
Wow.
That's even worse.
That's scary.
What a thought.
Honestly, what a fun fact as well too.
Thank you.
Honestly,
There you go.
wow.
There you go. That's the fun fact of the day.
That fact was so fun.
Yeah, I just found it
I'd
last
love to
minute.
get another one. But
You want another
know
one?
what? Yeah, I would love it. if
Did
I
you know
could.
that Lias Buzidi used to shut the hell up? This is right here.
I can't wait till the next episode for the next fun fact.
There we go.
honestly. Wow.
I got a good one for you. I got a good one for you. Don't worry. All right, cool. Today we are doing the every Premier League club's one player to watch. Right. This video is a fun one because it could age very, very well or very, very badly. Because what we're doing now is we are all naming a player from every single team. Not necessarily, obviously, it makes it better if it's not the main player. Obviously, for Arsenal, no point saying Saka for Arsenal or Salah for
Keep
Liverpool.
an eye out for Erling Haaland, guys. Honestly, I think
Yeah,
he's gonna have
exactly,
a big
no
season.
point. So, but then again, it doesn't only have to be a young player. It could be an older player that you think is gonna obviously like have resurgence, like Jean-Philippe Mateta. If you said that last season, if we did this video last season and you said Mateta, he's not a spring chicken and he's been at Palace a couple of years, but that would have been an unbelievable shout. So it doesn't matter if the player is young, a bit older. It doesn't matter if they're a bit proven, but probably best not to have it as like the star players. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go for every single team. We're gonna mention our player. We've done this once a while ago, and like I said, it can age really well because if you pick a player now and then it does really well, everyone remembers that you're the one that gave him the credit. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna start alphabetical order.
Okay.
I'm S, so it can't be me.
No, I mean it was the clubs.
Yeah.
But if on the alphabetical order of name of us as well, then Abs, go ahead.
Yes. So this is Arsenal.
AFC Bournemouth.
Oh, is it?
Surely, right? F comes before R.
Arsenal
F.
Football Club.
It's not Arsenal Football Club. It's Arsenal top of the league alphabetically, isn't it? Whenever the season starts. We can do Bournemouth as well.
I don't know.
I think Arsenal are top. Are the first.
Let's do Arsenal then.
My player for Arsenal actually mentioned in those of you who's watching the Premier League roundup.
Yep.
No. Jurriën Timber.
Ah, it's my one. Why'd you go
Timber.
for my one?
Because I didn't actually fully get to express how much I wanted him at my club
What a player.
over the last couple of years.
2022.
What a player.
He rejected us before we signed Leacher, and he extended his contract. And I still wanted him after we had Leacher in the club, just because I think he is such a brilliant player. We didn't obviously get to see him fully last season. We saw him in the Community Shield, and we saw what he could do and how comfortable he was in possession. What we've seen in this preseason, and when I watched a couple of Arsenal games in this preseason, is so crazy because he's not just doing the inverted thing in the first phase of play now. He's turning in pockets in the 8 and carrying the ball like a number 10, bro. Like genuinely, I think this guy isn't just a Swiss Army knife. I think he could play every position on the pitch.
Swiss Nation.
Unbelievable.
I think, and it's not just because of his technical ability. He's he's physically very strong. He can cover ground. He can mark a winger. Bro, the guy is.
You're
just,
missing the most important thing as well too. Just like Mazraoui, the IQ.
It's unbelievable.
He's just an Ajax footballer. You can tell he has the Ajax education. Very, very good footballer.
I obviously also have Timber. Who do you have? I'd rather talk about the other. If there's any other
I didn't
players.
go for Timber. I went for Martinelli. I think Martinelli this season
These
is.
two went for the same.
He is the player to watch because I think he has the most pressure on him at the club this season. I look at a guy like Smith Rowe in the past. He was like that original trio at Arsenal, the youngsters, was himself, Saka, and Martinelli. And I think at one point, the Arsenal project, like it developed at a faster rate. The trajectory of Arsenal Football Club became too much for Smith Rowe to handle. Maybe because of injuries as well too. But I just think their development, became a great team before Smith Rowe could even keep up. I think there's a slight danger of that happening with Martinelli at the moment. Saka, we know, come on, bro, he's the face of the club at the moment. But I think there is a slight concern that the club continues progressing and challenging for trophies and hoping to win the league. does that happen to Martinelli as a fulcrum at the club, which was probably undoubtable a few years ago. So I think this is a huge year for him because he needs to stamp his authority on this team, get back into the 11 consistently. And I think there's a danger that if it doesn't happen, Arsenal probably look for a top left winger next season. So I think this year he has to have a huge year, similar to the one he had 2 seasons ago.
So make or break for him this year.
I think it is make or break for him, for sure.
I kind of agree with that. Not break won't be you leave the club, you're out of the club. But
No,
break,
but
the
like,
break
yeah.
part could mean we're gonna get someone in that position that
that
will
just
do the
makes
job
you,
better
like,
than him,
yeah.
which then will, he loses position in the starting 11. I think he is a good one to watch. I think we've seen him a couple seasons ago. He could get 15 plus Premier League goals. We do look like we're with the Marino, with Calafiore on that left side, where more playing towards him and getting best out of him. You also have Martinelli. Anything you want to add to that?
It's more that I think, like you said, he's got a point to prove. Like last season, he knows it won a great season. Season before that, obviously, Bukayo Saka was ahead of him by a distance. I wouldn't say a massive distance, but there was a distance between those two. When he bagged 15,
Yep.
and
They
Saka
both did,
did.
yeah.
But obviously now, after a year or two, whatever,
There's a clear
it's a
gap.
clear
Yeah,
gap.
yeah.
Miles
And
and miles.
he knows he didn't have a great season. Obviously, he went out to Copa America, didn't play many games, but I think this season he's come back looking hungry. You could tell Arteta's already trying to play through him a lot more than he did last time, bring his confidence back. I just think, I just hope he went into pre-season and obviously while he was out there, figuring out what he needs to do or what he needs to change
Mashallah,
to get the
brother.
best.
It looks like he's praying.
Oh, my bad.
He didn't stop. He said, my bad. And didn't change his phone.
Habits. Good habits.
No, I love that. It's good habits.
Good habits. That's
Yeah,
good habits. Salah. Good habits.
It's a good sign.
Mashallah.
Thank you.
Mashallah.
Before we move on quickly to the next club, I know you're a big fan of Ethan Nwaneri. You didn't have him as your one to watch. Why didn't you have him as your one to watch? Do you think he will get many minutes?
I pray he gets a lot of minutes. But now I'm saying like this because it's Ethan Nwaneri. Like I think that kid, he has the potential to be competing with Lamine Yamal in the future.
Oh, okay. So Aston Villa now is the next club.
Did you hear that?
Aston
missing
Villa
this
is
part.
the
What
next club.
I said Ethan Nwaneri could combat Lamine Yamal.
So,
in that level of bracket.
We'll go to the Aston Villa
Hey, man,
next club,
that's- hey,
and then
Arteta,
we're going to
please
pick up
prove me
play
right,
for Aston
bro.
Villa.
Whoever eyes are
Prove me
right.
right.
So we're going to pick up play for Aston Villa now.
See,
and then we're going
Aston
to...
Villa hype, bro. What?
Hey man, hey, it's part of the video. Sharks should go.
No, surely we can ask him to expand on that point.
Yo, that's insane.
I don't
I'm
think
sorry,
he can.
I don't want to make this a 3-hour video. What the hell are you talking about?
No, I think like I think not ability wise, that's crazy. Yamal he's levels now, but he's got time to develop and become that kind of superstar caliber player that we've got.
You're
in
right.
him.
Go back to Aston Villa. I'm sorry.
See,
They're age mates, you know?
I know the age mates, but I
sorry,
feel
I
like
didn't
mean-
with
Yamal's
Yamal,
younger.
he's
Yamal's
obviously
younger.
wasted.
Yamal's younger than him.
Yeah,
That's what
of
I'm
course
saying,
he is.
bro. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
No
Wow.
disrespect.
Both 17.
Nah,
Or
Aston
is
Villa.
Yamal
Aston Villa.
is
No,
I think
Ethan's still 17.
17,
but he's- Yeah, but he's turned.
so yeah, like
Okay.
Ethan,
Villa.
prove me right, man. I know.
Unbelievable.
Arteta, please.
Unbelievable player, but don't just put
You
extra
don't
pressure on
support
him.
Arsenal young kids. That's the thing with you.
I trust me.
I was there.
I wouldn't have that person.
Bro, I was there.
How can he do that?
I was there in America.
I don't know what, but
watching them train.
He said, "Was there in America?"
I was in America, yeah?
I was there watching.
Yeah, he don't really mess with the club like that.
Nah.
He just travels everywhere with them.
just wants to chill with Frimpon.
Yeah.
Literally.
That sounds brilliant. Stars is 101.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You can't stop this guy.
That is unreal. That's
Can't stop
brilliant.
this guy.
That's brilliant. You're
No, I
101.
actually bonded really well with
Well, from Pong.
the younger players. The younger players.
But you gotta, it starts with you. You gotta let them know. You're the hardest. Like,
No,
you're gonna break through.
yeah, for sure.
Well, I know it's not coming from Mikel Arteta. It's got to be him.
No, it's my job.
Oh, so Mikel's got an issue with the young players as well.
No, he's not got an issue, but I just know because he's looking for the title.
Trying to win, bro.
You know how Pep will be like, obviously the age gap is mad different, obviously, but no, not even Rico Lewis. He tried it
playing
at
at
17 and said, you know what?
No, Pep does that though.
Exactly. We've seen it many
Mikel
times.
maybe not. So now you're trying to speak to the young
my
players
job.
through Sharky.
It's a good tactic.
So I don't have access.
If you don't have access, he talked to them
Bro,
through
It is
Sharky.
a good tactic.
That's why he brought him on pre-season. It's all adding up now, bro.
Bro,
Mikel's a
I have a
genius.
big, I have a big role at the club, though.
No,
I'm
Mikel's a
seeing it now,
genius.
bro,
Mikel's a genius.
honestly.
I was with Sharky in America, and then obviously I had to go back. But
I
yeah,
have a big role at the club. Aston Villa Cool. Second class Aston Villa.
Bournemouth?
I'm gonna
I
go
gotta go.
first. I got Morgan Rogers.
Same.
Anyone have the same?
Same.
There you go. Anyone have any different? You got a Morgan
I'm a big
Rogers?
fan of that kid.
No, I've got.
Hammer. John Duran.
The guy
Durant.
who you didn't know was any good until this weekend.
Huh?
The guy you said you weren't sure if he was any good.
his stats last season weren't bad, as in like for the cameos he's had. But obviously today, the weekend, I watched him proper and I was like, player.
Let's talk about Morgan Rogers first, because
Yeah.
3 of us have him.
I like him a lot.
Yeah, what a player.
Yeah.
He is a top player.
Signed in
Talk-
January.
Permanently. Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say all the.
No, he
Yeah,
wasn't
no,
on
no,
loan.
no,
He
no,
wasn't
no.
on loan in January. I'm sure he wasn't in loan in January, no?
Who cares, man? Just
Came
continue.
from Middlesbrough, right?
Yeah. He was at Middlesbrough before.
I thought it was a full purchase January, no? Like, I'm
I-
asking,
sorry,
I'm asking the
beg.
man that
hold on,
picked Morgan
no,
Rogers.
He's talking about how the weekend's
That's what's confusing me.
No.
I ain't picking a player. No.
No, I know.
Still, man, no, this guy.
Man, was just so. Man, was so.
No, you
I
threw us
refused. Man, picked this list going. You know what? I'm just slapping the name down.
No,
I'm gonna say he's a good player. Amsterdam said one word. He said Morgan Rogers said not one word.
Because he hasn't come to me. He's just started. He even interrupted him in his first
Exactly.
sentence, mate. Give him a
And
fucking
then
chance.
You got him over. Okay, clearly you said it as a fact, so you signed
No,
him.
I don't. I'm assuming it was. I remember.
But you said it like it was a fact.
Okay, he's signed February 1st permanently from Middlesbrough to Villa. Does
Thank
that change
you.
anything?
Thank
at
you.
all?
Yeah, is
He's
that good
talking about him
stuff?
as a player.
You
You're
happy
saying,
stuff?
where'd he come from?
Fucking
Why
happy
did
stuff?
Why they get him from?
Yeah.
Morgan Rogers. Tell us about Morgan Rogers, guys.
Are you gonna interrupt me? Are you gonna tell us where's he born? Like what city?
Brother, floor is yours.
Jesus
I knew you
Christ.
were going to say that.
Yes, Morgan Rogers. What about his game is so impressive that we all, have him as the player to watch. I think he's such a good player. It's in terms of in that role in between the midfield and the striker.
Yeah.
I think he's such a big presence. He's so industrial.
He's
But
a
I also
unit
think
still.
he's good on the ball. I think he moves the ball really well. Did really well even in the opening game of the Premier League. I saw him play against us last season in the game where they beat us at the Emirates.
Pre-season, he looked
I
really
think he
good.
stood out to me. Preseason
I'll
looked
be
good
honest,
to
I
me.
didn't watch him in preseason. This is mostly off what I saw from last season. But as you say, physically and technically, I think I've been impressed with him so far. And I think this could be a season where they have a lot of options now. They've obviously bolstered up the midfield. They've got Onana in there now. They've got other profiles that they can use. But Rodgers is I think that's a one to look out for
Yeah.
this
He's
season
going to
for
be
sure.
consistent starter in this team this season.
I think he is.
I think he should be.
No, I think he will be because you see in preseason he was playing a lot.
Yeah, okay,
they went
well.
and loaned out another kid recently. I think he's one of the names in that midfield
Is
going
he a
forward.
winger?
Morgan Rogers.
He's a forward.
Morgan Rogers.
Where as
No,
a position where he plays?
For me, he almost plays like right behind, like right in between.
Yeah.
Like he's like a number
Second
10 for
stri-
me.
yeah, second striker
yeah.
10.
Attacking
Second
midfielder,
striker 10.
attacking midfielder. I would say.
Attacking midfielder.
Well, I
Because
think you're
obviously
being
they lost Diaby, so I thought maybe.
nah.
No,
Diaby
no.
wasn't even starting last year towards the end. It was
That's true,
Bailey and
Bailey, yeah.
McGinn.
And he's
even
got
playing
that
on the left.
Man City education as well.
For me, honestly, I think you're actually underrating how good technically he is.
No, I think
This
he's
kid,
so good.
His feet are sharp, man. And then in terms of you're talking about an athletic,
Yeah.
technical footballer, the modern day kind of professional. He's a scary.
He
player, man.
encapsulates it.
Yeah, he's a scary player.
Is he what they thought Jacob Ramsey could have ended up being?
That's
I
two
still
ways
like
to take
Jacob
it,
Ramsey.
No, of
I
course
still
he
like
came
him.
on.
He
He's
got
still
the
playing.
assist, innit?
still
Yeah,
playing.
yeah.
But having them both,
You could play them both. I don't have an issue playing them
I
both.
think they got a lot of options. Samuel Illing Jr. They just signed him from Juventus as well too. I
Yeah,
think he's
got
one
that
foot,
other
one
guy
touch
as
as well too.
Philogene.
Yeah.
Gene,
Villa
I think needs-
are building a
He's
very
another
exciting
one
squad.
probably you could look out for as
Villa
well.
are building a
Philogene, yeah.
very exciting squad this year.
I was close to having Ian Matson as well. As
Okay.
a player to watch. I think he's
Yeah.
gonna play. I think he's gonna play a lot of football for Aston Villa.
Yeah.
I think he suits them really well.
Yeah, for sure.
What was that?
No, I got to see what Dan. You know how you said Philogene?
Philogene.
I said not my lover.
Not my love. That's brilliant. I've never heard that before. Philogene. Not my
That
love.
was a good one.
I really appreciate it because he caught it. When he caught it, I said, you know what?
That's right up my alley. I love that. That's brilliant.
It's fully shocking. That's what
No,
kills me.
Shark, you should have grabbed that.
That tickled me.
You should have grabbed it. You should have grabbed it.
Tickled me. It's
That
hilarious.
was a good one. That was a good one.
Brilliant.
Maybe it's because of the time of it, like.
Yeah, maybe the time is really late, guys. Okay, we are speeding through this, which is good. I mean, 3 of us had Morgan Rogers. You had John Duran. You mentioned briefly why you like him and you have high hopes for him. The next team though is Bournemouth, AFC Bournemouth.
Yeah.
You know what Abs does that one is like, I don't effing know who I picked.
Dean Hood. Dean.
Yeah, Dean Hudson,
centre back, bro.
yeah,
Bro,
yeah,
one
yeah,
sec.
yeah,
Can we
yeah.
just do this? One sec.
The Dutch Spanish.
Are you all right right now, bro?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good, man.
You good, yeah?
I'm good, man.
Yeah, just making sure, bro.
I mean, I've got
I've
little
got
old
him for-
Dean-
listen.
I've got little old Dean Hudson.
Hudson,
He's
yeah.
Dutch.
He's a Dutch- yeah, he's countryman.
But he's Spanish as well. Like I think he represents Spain. He moved there when he was like 5 years old, so I think he grew up there, represents them. Not gonna act like I know everything about him. I know he played in Italy, played in Roma, obviously Juventus before that. From what I know of him, from what little I've seen of him, he's a centre back, tall centre back with the feet of an attacking midfielder.
Nah, he's quality.
Soft feet, twinkle toes. He looks so good. Drives it like from centre back into the final third.
Yeah.
Good feet, moves the ball forward, can put it into the top bins. He looks like so tidy. I don't know how good of a centre back defensive player he is.
Quality.
I've heard good things about him.
Yeah.
But he looks good, and he's my one to. Like I said, I don't know too much about him. I'm watching him.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
my one to watch.
I'm surprised Juventus let him
He
go.
looks nice.
No,
and
it's
tidy,
a
man.
howler from Juventus.
Yeah.
Honestly, already to loan him out to a rival like Roma last season had question marks around it, and now this move, most Juventus fans are looking at it saying, "Why the hell have we done
What
that?"
is he? 20 years old.
Very young.
Yeah, he's 19.
Something like that, yeah.
One thing I wanted to watch out for in the first game for him was how does he deal with the aerial battles that he's always going to be facing in the Premier League. He was there. He was making sure he was known. He was a unit. He was physical. He's strong.
Well. Same height as Onana.
He's tall. He's strong, and we know what he can do with the ball at his feet. And I know we've all seen that one clip. That was just mental
so
last
tight,
season.
so clean.
Because there's one delay that he does in the dribble right outside the box. In one touch, drag back and carry in the same track.
Extremely talented going forward. The thing is with Bournemouth, and it was kind of a weird signing for me because Bournemouth to get a player like that, great, but they're probably their strongest area of the pitch is center back with Senesi and Zabarni. Those are two quality center backs. But I think in terms of like potential, bro, this kid is
Ceiling's
a gem.
high. Ceiling's very, very high.
Man.
Did you have him as well, Devin Ross?
No, I had their new summer signing, Evan Nilsson. Obviously, I know
from
like,
Porto.
His history from Porto, like he's put up very good numbers.
Yeah.
I just want to see
how he does.
I mean, you got a glimpse against him against Arsenal. I think he's really raw. Like when I was watching him, he's a handful.
Yeah.
Physical. But he's raw, man. Like there's a lot to work with there, but he's not the finisher.
That's why.
work
Like
on
I
as
said,
well.
this one's more on. I'm looking forward to see him play for Bournemouth more than
Yeah. Stocks in it.
No,
It is different.
One
That's
to
what I'm
watch.
saying. This
You
list
want to
is
watch it.
yeah. This list is basically like it's somewhere it's like you're telling the audience this is the one you should be watching, and it's somewhere it's like I've got my eye on this guy 'cause I'm excited to see him. This is my one to watch. So it is a mixture of the both. Did you also have Dean as well?
Yeah, I
Okay,
did.
so we had the 3 Deans. We now move on to Brentford. Brentford was tough for me.
Not really for me.
Brentford was tough for me. I mean, obviously, there's the one player who they signed from the big club, that's who I ended up putting down.
Same.
I'm saying outside of him though, I was like everyone else Brentford is either proven. I'm not gonna say Mbeumo, Wissa.
Well, we know
because
them.
their squad's been pretty similar from what they have, So obviously Fabio Carvalho was the one I put down. Good player. I think he performed really well for Liverpool in pre-season. Really well for them in pre-season.
Yeah.
He
sent Casemiro to
I
the
was
show.
surprised. Yeah, even Arsenal. I mean, he scored against us. Beautiful goal. Harvey flicked over the top. Fabio Carvalho.
I think Carvalho is a case. He's a talented player that Liverpool is just too big a club for him. Honestly, he was really good at Fulham. He even had a decent loan spell at Hull, but there's a difference between doing it at Fulham and doing it at Liverpool, and there's a nice balance between that. It's called Brentford. So I think he's actually going to do really well there. I think he'll find a nice home there. He'll have a lot more responsibility, and I think he'll thrive. You have an attack with him in behind Mbeumo and Vissa, and we'll also see too. They look like they're going to get around 50 million for Tony, so maybe they continue reinvesting that into the squad.
Sade as well.
Did I have Carvalho as well?
Yeah, I had Carvalho.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
There wasn't really many options. Like it's not like I was looking at Damsgaard going. He's got a makeup for what?
Nah, I to be honest, I think with the signing of Carvalho, I think it kind of
That's what your eyes are on.
It's
one to watch for the Premier League season, upcoming season, bro. Come on, bro. So a lot of them, we know what they are already, bro.
Yeah.
We know the reality of these players already. But Carvalho,
Rico Henry didn't even play. It was Aya that played left back.
Yeah, Rico Henry was
still got
injured.
ACL.
He was injured for the longest.
Pretty bad injury, but Fabio Carvalho.
he was a good FPL asset.
It is all round. This one's interesting. Brighton. Now this one, I struggled in another way.
20 players.
So I struggled on which one should I pick. And I ended up with Mats Vifa.
Okay.
Central midfielder final.
Talented player.
I feel like obviously Pascal Gross was a big hole to cover. I'm not saying he directly replaced him, but also I feel like they haven't properly replaced the gap that they left with Caicedo or McAllister. So there's a lot of things. But I feel like this is a good first step. This is a good first player to replace that hole.
Yeah.
Did really well on the Arne Slot's final last season.
Yeah.
And also, I just found this an interesting fact. Feyenoord used data. They used like a external data company.
Like the Southampton Black Box.
Yeah, to see what club was the best fit to sell Vifa to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What, for the sake of FIFA?
To sell him, yeah.
Okay.
Like usually, his teams buying players. They use data.
Yeah.
Feyenoord used it to sell him.
Who would make the
'cause he had
most
a
sense
few
to sell him to?
He had a few different clubs that were in for him. And
Did
then
they take into account how much money they'd be getting out of him? Like, who could we sell to make them
probably,
most money out of
probably
as well?
for sure. But I think
Yeah.
it's more like to his development.
So, bro, I think
You
that's
know,
brilliant.
and,
That's
and
brilliant.
I never-
obviously he
never
hasn't.
thought that.
Yeah, he hasn't really like featured for Netherlands and everything.
I've liked
yet,
the look
but
of
I
him
think
as
he
well.
will.
was
I like-
injured.
He
He
was
was
so
cool for the
big for
Euros.
Arne Slot's team.
He was so big. Quinton Timber next to him as well. He looks really good. I mean, I went for him, but I was very close for going for someone else. But I'm not going to say it because one of you guys might have had him.
Minta.
Minter's the
I
other
got
one I
him
had
on,
very
yeah.
close.
I got Minter. I got Minter.
I had Van Heck.
Van Heck,
Centre-back.
okay.
Another Dutch
Okay.
player.
I liked him. I liked him last year. It was
Yeah.
a bit raw, but you can see like the tangibles and like the way he plays centre back.
Yep.
So I thought, you know what,
I like him.
Now
Actually, I'm a big fan
because
of him.
he's had a change of centre back partners as well. Because he had Igor next to him at times. He had Dunk, Webster sometimes. But I feel like he's the only one out of that back four that's really been consistent
That-
in terms of playing
he's
and
gonna-
starting for them.
And he's going to improve massively. That Lewis
Yeah.
Dunk education as well, I think is one of the best in the Premier League, playing alongside Lewis Dunk. You saw how Colwell looked so good there next to him. Ben White as well developed next to him. Lewis Dunk, you're smiling.
No,
but I'm
maybe
being
these
serious.
deputies have gone
I'm
well,
being
gone somewhere
serious.
still.
Like, playing alongside
Okay.
Dan Burn.
Dan Burn, Adam Webster. You know,
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying that's why I didn't mention them on purpose. I'm saying I mentioned Cole. I mentioned Ben White.
The ones who went furthest.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, he's a good player to play alongside. As in, if you're a younger centre back.
For sure.
You know,
For sure.
and I like Van Hecke. I think
I
he's a
actually
good player.
think Weaver, I agree with your take, to be honest. I think even last year, I think the loss of McAllister and Caicedo without really they signed Dahoud. Dahoud left 6 months in.
Yeah.
Like they really never replaced either of them.
Billy
So I
Gilmore
think
was the
I think
closest one, but I liked him.
Weaver is a really good first step in kind of like trying to
I'll be honest
So
with you,
good
in terms of when I was looking at the sixth market for United and thinking about so many different options that were.
And,
But Weaver was someone I was thinking about as
Sander
well.
Berge
bro.
was up there as well too.
Of course he was. Don't disrespect Sander Berge, mate. But no, Weaver was someone I was looking at as well because he covers ground. From when I was watching him, covers ground at a very, very good level and is also good on the ball.
Yeah, I think
know
maybe,
he had a little mishap in the first game.
I think United might have failed the data analysis.
Yeah, I think that they would have said, probably not the right club to go to. Maybe they thought Brighton was a bit better. Makes sense. It was a step before the big step.
Yeah.
What a destination.
But tell us about Minter. I mean, I almost went for him as well.
Bro, I think just his directness in that first game already was just so crazy to see. I think he's going to be a handful for basically every footballer he comes up against. On that right hand side, the pass that he especially did to Mitoma as well for the goal.
Yeah, brilliant.
You know
I rate him highly.
You know what's mad about Minter as well? It is a position that Newcastle been wanting to replace for time in it. They've had Miggy Almiron. They've been looking for a
Almiron,
replacement. You've got someone that had a very good season at Feyenoord.
Yeah.
Well, because of FFP,
yeah.
you had to get rid of him.
We do have to sell. We do have to sell. Stop saying we have to sell. Remember that Newcastle fan? Miskin or lie. No?
And they sold.
Talk sport.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
I don't know.
He just didn't. He looked at me and he said,
Well, I didn't. I was like, you know what? I enjoyed my summer.
That's what he spent. That's what you spend your summer doing. Each to their own. Next we have Chelsea Football Club. Now you had about 40 odd players to choose from, which was tough, and I still struggled.
Which dreadhead do you want to pick?
I actually picked one.
There you go.
Let me see if I picked the Dreadhams.
I actually picked one. I think I actually picked one.
Did you pick a dreadhead?
No, I didn't.
Did you know?
Yeah, I did.
Secondhand smoke.
No, I don't.
You get hit with a dreadhead as well? You got a dreadhead as well?
Don't get me involved.
No, I was just asking you.
I don't know what hairstyle is rocking right now. Actually,
You're gonna get.
Don't get me in trouble here, man. What is this?
Oh my god, yeah,
Guilty by association.
My bad.
I don't know what hairstyle he's rocking right now,
Yeah.
but I mean, he's a player. He is kind of proven. This one I kind of cheated, but also he's a good player.
Cole
And I feel
Barber.
like I put Malo Gusto.
Okay.
It's more braids than Dreadhead. Like he's got
Yeah,
plats.
it's plats.
yeah.
Yeah, he's plats.
I picked Malo Gusto. I mean, everyone now knows, obviously, in the absence of Reece James, which is very, very regular now. And, everyone knows that how he's a good, solid player. But I think maybe this season we want to watch where I think he goes from good, solid player to one of the best in his position. In the league and maybe even in Europe. You never know. And Chelsea's a bit difficult for me. I mean, there's so
It's
many
just
players.
the gap in between the guys that you know might be in the first team, and then there's the brothers who are coming off the bench. And I was, brother, you're here?
Yeah. That happened
Where
to me sometimes.
did we grab you from? What's going on? Who's your history? Where did you come from, brother? So the gap between that was a bit of a struggle to navigate for me. And I felt like this one was a bit of a cheap shot because we knew the quality that he had at Southampton. But because of his injury in last season, I want to see a full season of Romeo Lavia at a top club. That's why I went for Lavia for one to watch for the season.
Good pick.
I hear it.
Solid pick. We saw how good he was. Man City.
Struggled, man.
Tough, huh?
I'm looking at this. I don't want to see any of these guys.
Yeah,
I want to watch. I guess Lavia, man. I think he's a really talented player. I would have loved to see him at United. What's up?
Chelsea fans are not happy with that, man.
It's okay.
He said, nah, man, you man are meaty.
There's nothing about Chelsea right now that are getting me off my feet.
I think Chelsea fans agree themselves.
So then there you go. It's not a shot at them. I think it's just the way they're being run at the moment. But I think Lavia is a top player. I think out of all the signings that they've made, look, there's some question marks over a lot of them, but I think he's a very, very talented player. And I think it was a real coup getting him over Liverpool, United, even getting in ahead of City. Like City right now, you look at needing that Rodri kind of deputy or someone who could eventually fill in those shoes. Yeah. I think he's capable of doing that, at least in terms of talent. So yeah, look, I'm not a huge fan of the whole squad, but I think he's a top player.
He is.
Yeah. I'm with you.
No, here, you guys know who I would go for.
Raheem Sterling. Wow.
No, not Raheem Sterling. No.
Pedro Neto.
Pedro Neto,
Top player. Nah, Neto, I'm a big fan of him. I'm a big fan of him.
Literally, I just feel like with him, of course, we've seen the talent and obviously the performances of what he's done at Wolves. It's just staying consistent and fit. And now, obviously, joining a massive club in Chelsea, how will he translate? I know he's played under Gary O'Neill, Nuno
Espirito Santo.
Espirito Santo. It sounds like that song, so I'll leave it.
Esposito.
Yeah, so I'll just leave it as that. But what do you call it? I think with him, I don't know how it would translate. I don't know how it would translate with Chelsea because the way he plays football compared to the identity and style that
all the other guys who love it to
play.
feet and the other
Yeah,
guys.
coming
He's
from.
direct.
So I don't know. I just hope I get to see the best out of it. I want him to be fully healthy.
I think that's the biggest thing. I think Neto, there's no issue. There's no issue in terms of style. Bro. That kind of winger, if you want to play in behind, he can play in behind. Ball at the feet, he can play on either side. There's no question about fit.
Yeah.
For me, Neto is one of the best wingers in the league. It's just a question of how many games can he play. The last 3 years, he hasn't played over 20 Premier League games. That's a massive issue. And that's the reason why a player of that quality only went for 60 million. Because if he was fit all the time, you would have an Arsenal on him, Liverpool would have been on him, City would have been on him. Can he stay fit? That's the biggest question mark.
And with that many players, can he play many games?
I think he's one of the first. If he's fit, he's one of the first.
Yeah, it's Palmer, then him in the attacking line, in my opinion.
100%.
Then whatever you want to choose, innit?
All right, let's.
It's Palmer, then him in the attacking line, in my opinion.
100%.
Let's move on now to the next Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace. Who does everyone have for Crystal Palace? This one is. We're talking about. This one's more for me to watch. I'm interested in seeing this player. But go on.
I got Munoz, the right back.
Oh yes, the wing back.
Yeah, I think they signed him. They signed him last January. I think he's had a very great start in terms of, especially into thingy. What's it? Glasner's formation. I think he's been a big help. Obviously, this weekend, even though they lost, he was always like. He reminds me less quality of like Pedro Porro in terms of he's very good at the attacking front. He takes their set pieces and such. He's a big threat in terms of even Mateta's success. Yeah. And I think now having a full season in the Premier League, hopefully, I think he'll do big stuff for Palace.
Good player.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, he's like you said, he's since January. Everyone's talking about Wharton since January. Glasner since January.
Yeah.
He's been a consistent figure in that team, especially on that right wing back kind of role. And
I really like the shout.
Yeah,
I really like the
very
shout.
good pick.
Yeah.
Anyone have anyone different?
Yeah, I went Kamada.
I got the same.
I don't know much about him. If I'm being honest, I don't know much about him. But I
played under Glasner for Frankfurt.
Okay,
he's come from Reunite, and he came on a free, and you know.
And I've heard there's good things about him, so he's one for one for me.
He rejected a new offer and signed on a free. Yeah. I have the same pick.
I went for Ismail Assar.
Good pick.
Redemption.
Yeah, I feel like at Watford, he was always one of those guys that I was like, I feel like he can make the step up to a bigger team, and it never happened. He even got relegated with them, played a season in the Championship, went to Marseille last year. He's back in the Prem. I've always thought that he's a player with a bit about him, so I'll be interested. That right-hand side is kind of open now that Olise ain't there anymore, so we'll see what he can do.
Ismail Assar's a good pick.
A lot of people expected us to say Adam Wharton, but he's been getting his flowers.
Rather that guy's coming, he's locked in.
If you're not, you should be watching him. You know, you don't need us to tell you to watch him. You should be watching Adam Wharton. I mean, he's in 6 months of playing in Premier League. He's already in the Euros. Yeah, he was already in the England squad. And he featured. Everton Football Club.
That's
This
what
one's
I'm saying.
a bit of an underwhelm, under-spiral.
I went for Ndiaye.
I went for Inter.
Element and Die.
Element.
Rising
Inter
ballers.
Milan, yeah?
Rising,
No, I got that. Yeah, go on.
rising ballers legend.
Yeah. Listen, he's a highly talented player, highly skillful. I want to see if that translates over.
Also played at
time.
Marseille.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
Smiley side.
It's going to be tough, but Everton's not really the best. I remember when I saw the move, it's a player I have rated already. Going to Everton isn't the best of circumstances, in my opinion. But if he can do well there, in them circumstances, I think that proves to a lot of people might be looking at him.
It's just sad though, in terms of that. Obviously, he was arguably one of the best players in Championship with Sheffield United.
Yeah.
Got promoted. And obviously, he went to his hometown club in Marseille.
Yeah.
So he's never really experienced Premier League, and the fact that he couldn't experience it with Sheffield United, so now he gets to do it with Everton.
He
But
dodged the bullet.
he did.
He
but
dodged a crazy
it's
bullet.
not, you're making it sound like
bullet right now.
literally.
The bullet's still in the shirt right now.
I'd rather be
potentially.
at Everton than Sheffield United.
No, you're
I'll
right.
tell you
1,000%.
For that
No,
Sheffield United
1,000%.
thing was going straight.
But no, I went for, like I said, Jacob Brown. I think
Jacob Bryan, that's what I went for. But
Yeah.
more like similar when we sort of come out. I don't know too much about him, but
Same.
Irish kid from Lyon. You know, they signed him for quite a bit of money. Do you know? You might know more about him.
No, I don't.
That's my one to watch.
Fair play.
Centre back, yeah.
I saw a lot of like coverage and also like not hype, but more of when it came to like the transfer window, they were rating him highly. Like other teams were looking into him. Everton grabbed him, and there's just the fact that he's gonna play alongside Branthwaite potentially. I want to see what that partnership's gonna look like.
I have a friend who's Irish who like follows up heavily on like Irish footballers, and he was like hyping this guy up before he even went to Everton. So I think if I'm gonna take his word, apparently he's a good player.
It's a good pick for one to watch. Go us. Next, we have Fulham. And I went for Emil
Fulham.
Smith.
Yeah, I did
Bro.
too. I did
Did
too.
you actually?
Yes.
We need that resurgence.
We need that resurgence. This is his chance.
Oh, so did I.
I didn't.
Yeah, you haven't gone for a single one that anybody else
I
has
like
gone
that.
for.
I like
I'm
that.
different.
I'm
man.
different, yeah.
Nah,
I'm
we're
different.
going
It's
for
a good
Brian.
thing right now.
No, we went for O'Brien. Yeah, I went for Sander Berg. Just signed
today.
For Fulham.
Fair
Like,
play.
It's not even confirmed yet.
brother, I read Here We Go.
Not even here we
there
go.
we land.
Ornstein,
But you see no there we land, though.
There we land. Oh, what's the other one?
Come inside.
I like Latino. I like big bad Latino. That killed me.
See, it's not official till you hear that.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. But when that move does happen, like Sanderberg, he's had many chances, and he like Sheffield United.
Still young, very young.
How old is he?
How old is he? He's not that young.
If you say like
Still
25, you know I'm gonna say.
That's
come on,
young,
bro.
though.
Obviously, where's
He's at 25, 26 maybe. That's young. He's
He's
26. That's young.
my age mate.
Yeah, but it's like he's been floating around for a while, though.
26 is not young, bro.
Okay, cool. Sure.
He just doesn't want to be given the young thing. I hear him.
No, but it's not that.
he's talking about football? Yeah.
Sanderberg is not a young player.
Yeah, but he's also not an old player.
Yeah, he's in
Like,
between.
I would have thought he's like my age, maybe.
But
28.
it should be.
For how long he's been
How
knocking
old
around?
is he turn 29 when he's 2027?
Wow, February, man.
Just like me.
But-
what's the date?
14th, a week before you. He's
Well,
only a bit older than
Valentine's
you.
Day.
But the thing with him is, obviously he's 26. I'm not
Start
ageist
for
or anything regardless, but he hasn't established yet like his role within a club kind of thing. He's always been floating or moving about, or worst case playing for bad teams. We all know what Fulham is, a steady ship. Like you're not gonna get much good stuff out of Fulham. So I feel like, especially him replacing Palhinha, obviously there's different profile, but they've got similarities.
I actually agree with that. I think that he's a better signing. And I'm not happy to say this because I would have loved Fulham to take McTominay off our hands. I think he's a better signing for them for what they need than McTominay.
100%. 100 million.
I
And
think
the
he's a
fact
more
that-
direct replacement for Païna than
Then
McTominay.
McTominay.
100%. And the
McTominay's
fact
last
that
line.
like what makes it much more better signing, obviously, what I'm looking forward to is the fact that Abs today would have been the happiest man, because within like the last week or so, he would have seen Wan-Bissaka gone, McTominay gone, and Sanderberg brought in. But
If the only thing that would have been better,
the fact that Fulham did that,
Lindelof goes afterwards, and then that would have been my summer sweet.
Casemiro.
Sanderberg is
I'm
making
not winning
dreams
that battle
come
yet.
true for
Bro,
grown
literally.
men. That's crazy.
Did you not
But-
hear the main part of it? Is the fact that McTominay was
snuck in
gone.
a little
McTominay was gone.
exactly. But hopefully Sanderberg play well.
Who does everyone have for Faisal's favourite team? Ipswich.
Ipswich.
He
Ipswich.
pronounces it Ipswich.
That's how Faisal says it. Yeah.
Ipswich, yeah.
You know that, brother? Well, you know, Harrow High School.
Go about it.
Has given us some absolute
idiots.
blinders.
Well, like
Yeah.
idiots. Like
Absolute howlers.
I don't know. Like
Genuinely
else?
some
Faisal, who
howlers.
else?
I can't name names. Rams to see, but you know, you're like literally like, bro, brother.
TBK.
Like sometimes, yeah, I generally look at Sharks and I'm like, you know what? You know, you had the option to
made
pick
it
your
out.
friends. Like you had the option
And you
to
picked
chill.
them too.
No, I joined late though. I went to two high schools. I went to high schools.
He ain't claiming you.
If he didn't get him late, he's definitely not chilling with you, broski.
I joined. I went to two schools. I went to two schools.
Well, he was looking for your friend. Oh, let's see.
He was the cool kid.
He was the cookie back in the day.
He was.
He's a ladies' man.
Man, back in the day, he was the man, homie.
Now you're rubbed up, mama, right there, man. God damn. What would he say? What would he say to you right now?
He was the man back in the day.
He was the cool kid. But yeah, Ipswich Town.
I went with Jacob Greaves.
Yeah.
I remember I spoke about him in the roundup.
briefly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuad's spoken highly about him,
And listen, if we're talking about defenders,
but he was unreal. Like
There's someone that
he
you
reads
go
the game
to.
well.
probably before I'd
He's
Kadar,
not,
isn't it?
yeah, he's not afraid of a challenge. Like his aerial ability is very good. He's commanding of the box. Defensively, I think they signed him from Hull City. Yeah. So again, was it Philogene came from Hull City?
Yep.
Your boy came from Hull City as well. What's his name?
What are you talking about?
Carvalho.
He's
Carvalho
on
was
loan
at
at
Fulham.
Car-
Yeah,
yeah,
he was
yeah.
at Hull. Hull had some time.
Yeah, of course. Hull had a good team last year.
Yeah. So because they were close to.
Yeah, they almost got promoted.
Yeah, but hopefully he has a great
Jacob
season and
Greaves.
then might have a big move
I'm
after.
interested to see him. Like you said, you mentioned him in the roundup. You said Fuad mentioned him. I'd not really heard of him.
Yeah.
In that back line, there's only Leif Davis, who I know had over like 20 years plus assists last season in the Championship. I went for Murray Hutchinson. Baby Anthony, you like to call him.
I respect Omar.
I think he's a talented player. I think he's going to get a lot of opportunity, a lot of minutes. We're going to see, hopefully, the player he thinks he is. He has a lot of self belief where he went from Arsenal to Chelsea, and then did really well last season at Ipswich. What he's going to do in the Premier League, I don't know. If the Premier League, we're going to see if it's his level, but I'm watching you, Omar Hutchinson. You came from Arsenal. You had a lot of talent, and you took control of your career and you want to play football, and this is your chance to play in the Premier League, so you're my player to watch.
What are you going for?
I also went Greaves.
I went for my favorite Iraqi in the world, man.
Ali
Ali Al-Hamadi.
Boy, my favorite Iraqi, man.
This is Faisal storyline. Go, let's go.
Ali Al-Hamadi.
Yeah.
Nice.
We met him. Nice guy as well,
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
And I'm looking forward
you
to
met
seeing
him,
more. Yeah, we met him.
He came to the Bates Club match.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Lovely bloke. He was
Omar
actually
Hutchinson
talking very
as well.
highly about Kieran McKenna. But
there you go.
yeah, I'm interested in his story. Is pretty cool. He's come from League 2 to now the Premier League.
brilliant.
Hopefully he gets a chance.
Yeah.
I should have changed my answer.
To what would you have gone for if it was us?
Me and Abs would have changed the answer actually together.
I would have just stuck with Jacob Greaves.
I would have went Kieran McKenna. See what he's like this season.
He's a great player to watch. Yeah, nice.
We
didn't
changed the
understand the
rules though. That's how
We
it
let,
works.
yeah, we can't really do that.
Say
But
no more.
Can
Yeah,
you
Leicester-
start?
who am I looooking forward to seeing for Leicester? I'm looking to see
Leicester.
Steve Cooper, honestly.
That's
What are we
crazy,
doing
like,
here, bro?
Leicester-
I don't
actually
want
next
to see if
team.
he
Of
deals
course.
with his eyebrows.
Yeah, Leicester next team. You're pretty good with the alphabets. Leicester.
The no, Buonanotte.
Buonanotte. He looked good today.
Yeah, good player. Honestly, I thought he was pretty good at Brighton as well too. But obviously, like we were talking about Brighton, they're kind of stockpiling talent in that position.
Yeah.
So needed to go out on loan. He's found himself at Leicester, and I think that was a position they were kind of missing, to be honest with you. That kind of creative guy behind the striker, pulling the strings. I think he can do big things there.
Do you think he was obviously? I'm not going to say the impact he's going to have, but do you think he was like a replacement for Dewsbury Hall?
Dewsbury Hall alone.
Different profile.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
creative
Yeah,
factor,
yeah.
but I'm saying like
Yeah.
different.
And it
profile.
is pretty hard to. Who's the best player by far? KDH.
Yeah.
He was the best player. I went for Jamie Vardy.
Same.
One to one.
Farewell
The
to.
last dance.
Wow.
Oh, fair
Yeah.
play.
Wow.
Sell it to me.
Jamie
Doesn't need much
Vardy.
selling. Talk to
Don't
me.
need much selling. 37 years old, opening game.
To be honest, the only thing you got to do is this.
F off.
You boys love
Prime.
it.
Obviously,
That's
Jamie
right. I love
Vardy.
that one
Obviously,
still.
I had another player on the side just in case Jamie Vardy wasn't accepted. It was Abdul Fattah.
The right winger today,
Yeah.
number
Right
7.
winger.
Good
Today,
player.
yeah.
I liked
Did
him
really
today.
well for
I
him
liked
last
him today.
season. Glad he stood at the club. I remember I think he was on loan last season.
No, he was
was
a big factor, man.
Yeah. And I mean,
I think so.
When is he originally a Leicester player that was loaned to Brighton, or is he a Brighton player?
No, he's a Brighton
player that was
Brighton
loaned
player.
to Leicester.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I went for Abdul Fattah. I think he's a good player, good winger. Had a very strong season last season. They really liked him at Leicester, and I'm excited to see him now. I mean, I managed Leicester on Football Manager, and he's one of our best players. So I'm excited to see him play.
Yeah. I did have one or two as well, but just a quick shout out to James Justin as well, because it's our first time seeing him back in the Premier League.
Hey, James Justin.
Listen,
That's your boy,
plays both sides. Is he your boy?
He's not,
Yeah, he was on loan last
Random
Abdul
player you don't
Fattah.
like.
No,
Is he
no,
not one of them?
I like James Johnson. Good player, man.
Yeah, but yeah, both flanks is someone I'll be looking out for this season as well.
Hey, did you say who you had?
Yeah, Buonanotte.
Buonanotte.
What about you?
Jamie
Jamie
Vardy.
Vardy as well.
Vardy's a farewell tour,
He's
innit?
having a party, man. Farewell to. How many goals do you think he scored this season?
More than Hoyland.
You see how quickly he said that on
Yeah, so quick. Like, he didn't know I was going to ask that question. He's fast. This guy. He's quick, though. He's quick.
That's brilliant. I just have to
He's
admit, that's
quick.
brilliant.
different. It's unbelievable.
No, genuinely.
The worst thing is, like, I kind of agree. I mean, I see it.
goals is he scoring?
Huh?
Put a number on the table right now.
12.
12. Oh, my God. I was thinking 12.
So what were you saying? How many goals is Hoyland scoring?
So you say what you said.
I don't like that face.
With Zexy now, there.
These are cringing. Ugh.
Oh, and I'm just thinking because I want Xerxes to play a lot of minutes.
So you're not rating Hoyland's thing?
No, I'm not. I think he'll score a lot of goals for Man United in the Prem.
You don't sound
Prem
convincing.
in the Prem, he's gonna match what he did last season. We've got 10 goals again.
So Vardy scoring more than them. A 37-year-old scoring more than
I
a
don't think
60
Vardy
million
gets
pound
12.
striker.
I don't think Vardy gets.
How many does he get?
Vardy.
He's already on one.
He's got one already.
He's already on one.
Wallahi, Vardy's a
11 to
mushkila.
go.
In 37 games.
games, bro.
I don't know how much Vardy's
You don't sound convincing.
I'll say.
I'm not convinced either.
I'm not sure either. That's a good
I
conversation.
remember though, Vardy's gonna take all the pens.
Yeah,
That's Garrett.
that as well.
He will, you know. And
That's
Bruno's going to
But
take all the
he'll
pens.
always play about an hour, though,
Yeah.
and come off.
Oh, that's all he
It's
needs.
nice. He'll score in that hour.
he
He's
needs.
good. Jamie Vardy. All right, moving on now. We've got Liverpool.
Liverpool. That's my best Gus impersonation.
Liverpool.
That's
I've gone
much
for Ryan Gravenberch. The reason why I've gone for Gravenberch this season, right,
Accent.
is you know, the sixth position right now. The Endo, not really fancying him anymore. You know, they're not fancying Endo no more. Sorry, Endo, it was lovely having you. Not anymore. Now I think, you know, they're looking at Gravenberch maybe being the solution. Maybe can he be the kind of guy? You know, he's not naturally a sixth player. Is it Lias? He's not naturally a sixth, but he's played in the 8 before. Can he now discipline his game a little bit? Come down into deep areas in the pitch, facilitate for the forward line. We saw him actually do it in the last game against Ipswich.
Yeah, you think
Picked
he
up the
could do
ball.
it?
You look at it right now. Stop it there, right there. The ball in behind was perfect. Little bit of Ryan Gravenberch, good looking bloke.
Who's your remind you of? Like, what Liverpool legend would you compare him to?
What the fuck do you want me to say?
Then does he have a little bit of Steven Gerrard in him, no?
No, what the fuck are you on about?
I just wanted to hear you say Steven Gerrard.
I just want me to say Steven Gerrard.
Why he's laughing?
I don't know why you're laughing, Chris.
Why he's laughing? I'm being serious.
No.
All right, Lias, who do you have?
Genuinely.
Wow.
Gravenberch.
No, I didn't have Gravenberch. I had Harvey Elliott.
So do I.
Yeah, I think this could be a potential breakthrough season for him. I feel like people forget how young Harvey Elliott is at
Bro.
times.
21.
Top three,
literally.
man.
But because he's been playing for so long, right? He made his debut at what, 15 years
He's always
old.
put himself through.
Nah, which is too far from me. But like what? He made his debut at 15 years old for
Yeah,
Fulham.
scary.
I think people forget that he's still 20. He could still win Young Player of the Year this year,
Yep.
potentially. So and look, I think he's been in and around the team at times. He had a big part to play 2 years ago. And I think Curtis Jones spoke recently about maybe the system now can benefit me because it's more focused on keeping the ball. I think Harvey Elliott could also have a huge part to play if he's given the right.
I think he had a big part to play last year as well, in terms of he was very influential.
I think he's a slept-on piece of this team.
Yeah,
and honestly, I
100%.
think Harvey Elliott's really good.
But you just said the player that
Curtis Jones.
Yeah, Curtis Jones. With him, I've always loved him. Like I've tweets from 3-4 years ago saying bring to the Arsenal of Liverpool.
You have wanted out, you have
so
wanted.
I've always wanted him.
Yeah.
I can't lie, he's a very good player, but it's opportunity with when it comes to Liverpool. Like sometimes I feel like he gets enough game time. He looks like he's gelling well. He's actually finding his feet with Liverpool. He offers he offers different stuff as well within that team. On the clock, that he's made him play like many different positions at the same time. If that makes sense. Where I think he's better when he's closer to the goal. Like I think he's a better 8 than he is.
More box to box.
Yeah,
I think he can play first phase.
First phase.
Yeah, I think he can do first phase.
I
Curtis
you
Jones-
can,
think
but
not with England.
I think Curtis
Under
Jones.
21
honestly,
Angel Gomez.
Angel Gomez.
Him and Angel Gomez. Really good together.
I said it over the summer. I would have taken him to the Euros. I think he's a really good player,
Yeah.
man, honestly.
Yeah.
It's a good pick.
Interesting profile.
It's a solid pick.
gone for?
We all went for midfielder. I said Javier as well.
Oh, you're Javier as well.
Yeah. So we all went for
Javier, I
midfielders.
think, is a really good place. It's one of he's like, you know how Stars has a weird list of players he doesn't like for no reason.
Yeah.
Javier, that's on my list. For no reason. I think he's a brilliant player.
Really?
Just don't like him.
Fairs.
I just,
Not fair, man.
just don't like him.
I don't know. I need to know someone else that's on the list.
I don't know. I just know Javier is.
Casemiro.
No, there's a reason.
Yeah, there's a reason.
There's plenty of reasons.
There's definitely a reason.
Anyway.
Next, we actually have Manchester City.
My answer would have been so different a week ago.
Yeah.
It would have been Oscar
Yeah.
Bob.
Yeah.
I think he was
first one.
poised to have such a top
So
season
annoying.
this year, man. But because I think he's going to miss a decent amount,
Then
and
you
we'll see how
said-
he even comes back.
The name is
Same as me.
Savinho.
Savio.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Saviano.
Oh,
Oh, that's what I went. Savi.
I went the guy you was hailing up.
Rico Lewis.
Yeah.
I got Rico Lewis.
Good
Yeah,
shot
I got
as
Rico
well,
Lewis.
too.
Yeah, but
Good shot as well, too.
I'm so sure about him already.
What do you think about this in 2022?
Keep an eye on that Harvey Elliott kid. Confirmed 30 baller.
In what, 2022?
Said by you.
What did I say about Harvey Elliott?
Confirmed 30 baller.
That's not his language.
That's not how we speak.
That's how I
Does
would
he say
speak.
30 baller?
Yeah, 'cause I
Did I
think he's
say
a good
that?
player.
No, it was him.
Yeah.
I was going to say
Well,
30
go on,
ballers.
search some more teas.
You called him a 30 baller.
Because he is a 30 baller. Just don't like him.
Yeah. I went for Rico
30
Lewis.
ballers, not something I would ever say.
Yeah, that's what clocked. He's not talking like that, bro.
That's what I'm
I'd be like,
saying.
genuinely world class. Yeah, that's what I would
Yeah,
say.
Rico Lewis for both of us.
Yeah.
But
Savio
yeah,
for
the
both
only
of
reason
you.
I don't have, you know how much I rate Rico Lewis. I think he's, I'm sure.
Yeah,
of
but
it.
you can
I
say
don't
keep
need
an
to
eye
watch
out
him.
for him because he finally becomes a key player in
That's
that
what
That's,
I
that's,
think.
that's more the line.
I think
line
of
of
Is
Yeah,
it
he's
crazy
never
that I
been-
think
he's never been a
he
key-
hasn't been, but I don't know. Maybe I rate him.
No, but you can rate him, but it's still like look, Harvey Elliott. I've always rated him, but this is the year he takes that step up and becomes a key
It's not
cog
even-
in that
it-
team.
it-
Actually,
it's-
like that, yeah.
But Abs, it's not
If I
even.
thought about it like that, I probably would have.
It's not even a step up. It's just more consistency. We just want to see more of him.
That's what I
Because
wanna
we
see.
know he's got
That's
it.
what I wanna see.
It's just I hope this season is the season where we get to see a lot more.
Yeah,
of
maybe
him.
I overthought it and went for a new signing.
but
a little
Savio's
bit,
a
but-
good pick.
Savinho's
But
was,
I
yeah.
think, bro, what he could do is crazy.
I just think those
bro.
first 45 minutes in that cameo against United. One thing I really like about him, right? And it's not
Direct.
something you can say about all these wingers in 2024.
I agree
He can
already.
play on either side.
Oh, I wasn't thinking that.
No,
one,
no.
but
I like the fact he can play on the left and he can play on the right. Back in the day, it never used to be a case. I'm saying back in the day, like even 2000s, right? You had like guys like Cristiano Ronaldo can play on the left or the right.
Yeah.
Robin can play on the left or the
Nani.
right. Nani can play on the left or the right. It's no big deal. Bale can play on the left or the
Bale,
right.
yeah.
And they do it. These days, everyone wants to be a specialist. Everyone wants to play, if I'm left-footed, I want to cut in off the right. If I'm
Come on,
right-footed-
man.
Like a guy like Anthony, for example. It's not you're not cutting it on the right, no pun intended. Go on the left and see if you can do a little better. That's why I actually admire Garnacho. The fact he had to go play straight on the right, did his thing.
Yeah.
I like that about
Ahmed Diallo as
Savinho
well.
as well too.
Sorry?
I'm at Diallo as well.
Everybody thinks these days, if I'm
should try.
left-footed, I have to play on the right because I
Yeah.
can only cut in.
No.
Nah,
But
bro.
no,
I'm
my
with you there,
argument-
mate.
You know what I was gonna agree with you on Savio was, obviously I didn't watch much. I didn't watch much Girona, but I know he did well for them. It's his intelligence. I didn't know his IQ, like reading of the game, was good. Because there's moments where if Jeremy Doku was on the ball, he's trying to skip past players and run into
He's
trouble.
much more
kind of thing.
direct. He's much more direct.
But this guy's like, if I want to, like you said, if he wants to be direct, he was cooking Kukurea. But then also he looked at it and went, I know I can beat you, but
Timing.
I'm waiting for this guy's run.
Timing.
I'll play the weight of
Very,
pass
very
will be
true.
perfect. And all that stuff. And I went, you know what? Player.
Well said.
I'm gonna say a
got two
word
names.
that like
I
I'm
really
gonna say a
agree.
word that doesn't really like get said in football, but like for me, I don't know, it just came to me and I think it works for him. He's like a cunning dribbler, honestly, in terms of like he's very like in a way it's like it's kind of like Mahrez in terms of like they're not again as direct as Doku, but they kind of like read their opponent. They do a little hesitation, a little. That's what I see from
Nah,
from
fair enough,
Savinho as
fair.
well too. I don't know why cunning is the first.
Cunning.
Word. Yeah, he's a
Yes,
cunning dribbler.
Sometimes things
Yeah.
just make sense.
There you go.
Cunning footballer. I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I really do.
There you go.
Now, we stay in Manchester.
I don't really want to be in that side of Manchester.
Take me on.
We got a bit out of the actual. We got a bit out of Manchester centrally because City's in Manchester.
That's what I'm gonna say. We're not
United.
in Manchester.
Everybody's now all of a sudden geography major. I can read a map, guys.
American and Southeast Londoner.
Why you get so defensive? Because your team.
Woolwich Arsenal.
Why you get so defensive?
I'm just saying, Woolwich Arsenal. Anyway, let's talk about United and then the one to watch. The one to watch for this season is for me.
It's not Amad Diallo. You can't say Amad Diallo.
Why not?
What?
Well, why not?
It's got to be Facundo Palestri.
Okay, man.
He's got Panathinaikos.
He's got Panathinaikos.
Oh.
But yeah, it's why can't it be Amad Diallo? Of course it's Amad
It's
Diallo.
boring, man. Like
How's it boring, brother?
a geezer that's
Last
It's not gonna lie, it's
season-
the only pick.
Last
it's the only pick you can do.
season, the guy played Anthony over this guy, bro, for basically the whole year. We didn't get to see enough of him. Towards the end of the season, last couple of Premier League games, we saw a bit of Amad Diallo, and he showed us what he's made of. Scored what, bro? One of those memorable goals
Yeah, we know.
for United in a long
scored
time.
probably the most important goal of the
We
season
know
last
that
year.
because
You
it's
saw
a
that.
big
Yeah, you won-
moment,
and you
bro.
won the competition.
And we won the competition, brother.
Oh,
Bro, we won the
Coventry,
competition.
Coventry scared you though.
They scared me,
Coventry scared
but
you.
just a little scare.
Coventry, it was a big scare.
You like a bit of scares,
They
though.
made it 4-3 at one
What
point.
is a trophy if you don't feel like you weren't going to win at one point? You know what I'm saying? I thought it was gone. I thought it was gone.
I was at the ground, man.
I thought it was
He
gone.
was ready to.
Do you know
vomit.
the
I
FIFA
was
graphic
gonna vomit. I thought Kane was
when
gonna
a
run
goal
on the
goes in and all the players fall down? You know how players go, That was the best offside I've seen in my life.
Yeah, exactly. And it wasn't even the game. It was like the aftermath would have been horrible. From 3-0
That's the
up
day I
to
decided,
4-3.
you know what, VAR? Yeah, I gotta put all my qualms about it. Like it's so needed, bro.
Save me,
It's the greatest
save
thing
me
of all
our
time,
life.
honestly.
But the point is, I'm a Diallo, and
For
we
sure,
wouldn't have
he's
been.
the obvious
We
pick. I
wouldn't
mean,
have
I've
been
got
in
Abdul,
that situation, bro. I genuinely mean this, and I was saying this in the game that we watched together as well. The strategy for United has to be give the ball to Amad Diallo and get out of his way.
You know-
It goes back to what I said to you, bro.
What about Saka and Martinelli, and who should always go down Saka's side?
No, as in like he's got to be mentally a sick man
Yeah, he has to do
and
that.
to literally believe I am genuinely the best player on this pitch. Give
And
me
he
the
has-
effort
bro,
ball, demand the ball constantly.
And
know
then
what- you know
start
what?
slapping it. 'Cause
Someone has that. You know
ball
someone has that.
striking.
It's Garnacho.
Yeah,
And
right?
ironically,
I see
they're-
that in first.
they're
I said the
competing
same
for
thing
the
to
they're
Abs.
competing for the same flank as well too. Look,
Yeah.
the way you've been talking about Ahmad for the
Yeah.
last the way you've been talking about Kobe for the last year and a half.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the way I've been talking about Ahmad since he
about
joined
3
the club,
years,
bro.
4
Since
years.
he joined
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Atalanta.
yeah.
I have messages in group chat saying when Anthony joined, I still think Ahmad's the most talented forward, natural ability at the club.
Spot
and it's
on.
just kind of I feel like he almost became the forgotten man at United for
Yeah,
a while.
he did.
Because he was our player, and we still spent 72 on Sancho. We still spent like 80 on Anthony.
Do you
We were
remember?
still
Was
trying
it
to-
last season when he removed his Instagram or something? And
Yeah,
it looked like he was done.
It
Like,
looked like
he
he
was
was.
like,
He looked like
He got
was
close.
done. Because
He got close.
bro, he
But
had this
because Ten
ama-
Hag is playing
They
now.
sent him
But
out.
he
they
knows how
sent him
good he
out
is.
to
And he's like
Rangers.
feeling like crap.
They sent him out to Rangers. It was a bad loan.
It was
spell
a
to send
very
him out
bad
there.
loan. He scored on
Then
his
they-
first
then
goal,
they
and
sent
that was
him
it.
to Sunderland,
Sunderland
where he
smashed it.
tore it up under Tony
Yeah.
Mowbray or whatever his
Yeah.
name is. And then he came in, and I think he had that injury towards the start of the season. Second half of the year, every time he got the opportunity, he showed something. And I look at that United front three. Xerxes is he's a player, but the rest of these guys are all really good in transition. Like they're players that they want to get in behind and run.
Yeah,
Ahmad is
Garnacho,
really the kind of
Rashford,
player
yeah.
you give him the ball and
To
he
his
just wants.
feet.
He just creates moments, bro. He
Quality.
always
He,
wants
he
to
wreaks
put it.
havoc to defenses all the time.
Yeah.
And Stars, what you said earlier about him just realizing how good he is.
Yeah.
His ball striking,
Delusion. He needs that.
his ball striking
I
is
agree.
already a joke. So if he actually starts thinking or realizing, not even thinking,
No.
realizing how good he is compared to his peers in the same team, and then he actually starts having that arrogance, that good
You have to have
ego,
that sick mind to go,
bro.
It's not sick, man. He honestly, it's just a
Ego,
little
bit
bit
of
of it's literally
confidence, bro.
it's literally just a bit of greediness, I think, to his game.
on, brother.
Like there was an instance, excuse me,
Community
at Community
Shield.
Shield,
Squared it
where
to miss.
it's not a bad idea to
No,
pass
it's
it
a good
to him
idea.
out.
It's a good idea.
But
In fact,
It's a team idea,
Yeah.
not an individual
top
idea.
players make bad decisions that end up being the betterment for the team. Like in general, in football, you'd say the best decision there, square it to a Mason Mount for him to tap it in.
sure.
The best players are known, the aces in the team,
course.
make a bad
You think
decision.
Salah squaring it?
Brother, they're slapping that. Even though it might be the wrong decision, but it's a goal.
There you
Now
go.
you're happy. You don't care about no bad decision no more.
There
I'm
you
the one making the decision for the team.
There you
But
go.
that'll be something that and that's a
It'll
mentality.
develop.
thing
Hopefully
that
it
I think-
Yeah, and the more you
Hopefully
play,
it
you'll get
develops.
that. All right.
Watch out for him, people. Is that a full
Did
house?
everyone-
Is
did
that
everyone
a full
have
house, yeah?
No, I didn't have Ahmad. I had
There we go.
Tyrone Malacia, go on. I'm
no,
different.
I had obviously the opposite. I had Marcus Rashford. I hope this season.
Okay.
Hope this season.
Here's a good
come
one
to
from,
watch.
like,
Yeah.
come from like the way not even deservedly actually the scrutiny that he was getting last year.
hope so.
There,
Yeah, I hope so.
his body language. He looked like sometimes you just didn't care about Man United. The fact that a lot of your fan base were literally going, I don't mind getting rid of Sanchez this summer
Or worse.
Sanchez.
Not Sanchez, Rashford. Sorry.
Or someone was saying he has to leave.
Yeah, they're coming from
Yeah.
like it got to the point where him and Bruno were scapegoats in the whole situation. Rightfully so at points.
Yeah.
Not with Bruno as much, but with Rashford especially, knowing that you can score. You've got the ability to score 30, 40, 50 goals a year.
For sure.
The Rashford argument was a lot stronger.
I'm
Yeah,
coming
for
from
sure.
Didn't
I
get
think
picked for,
the
didn't
thing-
get picked for the Euros as well.
Yeah,
And I think
bro,
the thing with
literally.
Rashford
I hope
as
it's
well, too-
motivation. I hope all that's motivation.
No,
to
but
go on.
Rashford as well too, and even beyond that, this year I think has a lot of pressure on him because I think you're looking at the United team the way it's kind of being built. We're talking about Ahmad, we're talking about Garnacho, and there is an argument that if Rashford's not on his best form like we know he can be, United is not like living and dying by Rashford anymore because they have two kids on the wing that could potentially still give you something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing that, like you mentioned, using that as motivation, all this kind of stuff, it does look as though right now nothing he's doing is working right now, and it's
wouldn't
going to
say
be.
that. I don't think that's true. I think it's working a lot
Just
better
the way
than
I
last
see
year.
it. No, it might be,
I
and
think,
his
you know what it is?
application. Go on.
I don't agree with that because I think last year nothing did work.
Yeah.
This year he's making good plays and stuff like that. I think he's playing a little timid. I think he's playing it within
That's very
himself.
true.
And I think there's a lot of instances, the Garnacho pass, which some people blame Garnacho, but I think
No, it's
a
right. I
pass
blame
that
Rashford
lacked-
more than-
I think it's a pass that lacked conviction. I think against City that missed, it's a finish that lacked conviction.
Yeah.
That's for me what's missing from Rashford's game. I don't think the decision making is the bad thing. He's not as confident as I've seen him.
It's-
be.
Like
it's-
when I was saying the things not going right, it doesn't necessarily mean the decision making. Or I'm not saying he makes wrong decisions all the time. What I'm saying is the things that he is trying just aren't coming off, rightly or wrongly. And I feel like that's just the rut that he's been in for a while. Because whenever we saw Rashford in the previous season, it looked like the ideas that he was going for were positive and they were consistently dangerous. At this point in time, I don't know. I think he's stuck in a bit of a place right now where it's neither here nor there. And so I hope, like you mentioned, with all the things that have happened so far, he does use that as motivation to turn
He
it
has to, man.
Let's see.
No England, no
That's not
Euros.
excuses anymore.
Had a bad season.
Let's see. I think
already started. Like I said, Man United are already starting.
I called for Rashford to be subbed when it was Garnacho coming
100%.
on. I wanted Ahmad to stay on, even though Ahmad wasn't having a great game at the time.
Imagine saying that 2 years ago.
Crazy. I never would have
And
expected to say that myself.
Even look at the way Man United have positioned themselves in terms of promotion and media. Like the video recently, it's the three boys. That's
Wow, yeah, Rashford actually wasn't in there.
Like,
Oh my
they're
god,
now pushing the
my God.
Hoyland, Garnacho, Minor. Like they know, like okay, cool.
I didn't actually.
We
think
don't really
that,
have to
no.
look
Yeah,
forward.
of course,
look
yeah.
far
I
into
didn't
thinking.
actually think
Of
that.
course.
Xerxes will be a big player for him.
Oh, well, let's see. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Newcastle
I'm
next.
saying hopefully, like, I want Man United to be good.
Newcastle is tough because it's the same team as last year. I don't think they made a single signing. For
Yeah, but it
massive
can be the
signing.
same team. It's like a player.
Oh, I got
it.
it,
Could be
bro.
their breaker. It could be their.
For me, it's Livramento.
So do
Same.
I got
Yeah,
Tino
Tino
Livramento.
Livramento is someone I've rated. At
So, yeah.
Chelsea, I felt I've sold him, and they probably
He was
shouldn't have
really
sold him at
good
the time.
last year, though.
He was, but I don't think he got the same level as PR as he deserved. I think that he's someone who's not just a lockdown defender on both sides,
Yep.
because I think he's very, very
He
good,
is.
solid defensively and can cancel out any threat on either wing.
He is.
On the ball, very, very comfortable,
Yep.
can give you something in the attacking third. That just sounds like a complete
Can
fullback
go
to me.
both feet as well.
Both feet as well. Bro, the guy is so complete. I really like him at the age that he is right now. Very, very good player.
No one ever judged him on his footballing ability or what he
It was
brought, what he
availability,
brings to
wasn't
this. It's not even availability.
No.
It was more of, I think Newcastle were just playing the waiting game to see when Trippier will
It's done.
start to fizzle out, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Good point.
And this season is the one where, obviously, you already saw links before Wan-Bissaka went there,
Yep.
him going. So I knew from there, like, I picked him for fantasy for a reason. I knew whole of pre-season he more or less was playing. Obviously, I know Trippier went to England Euros, but it's this position now. Like him and Lewis, especially as well when they figured out Lewis Hall's
Better than Dan Burn.
all that
I
situation.
think he's the one to watch. Lewis Hall.
You want Lewis Hall?
Yeah,
I'm not against that at
I
all.
didn't go
like
for
him.
him, but I think if you're looking at the fullbacks, like I said, I agree with everything you're saying about Livramento.
Yeah.
But for me, he's not one to watch because I think he had his season last
Yeah.
year, and we also saw him at Southampton. I think Lewis Hall was one of those guys that we saw him in that horrible Chelsea season. He was kind of a bright
bright
spot,
spot, yeah.
and it was a shock.
I
that
like
they-
the Lewis
it was
Hall
a-
shot a
and
lot.
it was a shock that they let him go to Newcastle the way they did. And we didn't get to see him as much last year. I think this is a year we're gonna see Livramento play more on the right. Let's see if the other young kid can play on the
I
left. But
really
I
like it.
went
Really
for
like it.
Tonali because honestly,
I was thinking that.
the team is the same. The team is the same. So what's the difference? It's the guy who missed the entirety of the season.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
like
guy
it.
that, okay, they had injuries, but it's also the fact that they lost their marquee signing for a whole year. You have a full year now of Tonali, Joelinton, and Bruno Guimaraes. What does that look like?
Show
How much can
me.
you improve this team?
Show me.
I like that pick. That's a good pick.
Very, very good pick.
Did he play the opening game yet or not?
He played a
No,
few.
28th.
No, he's back. Like,
Oh,
towards
when's
the
he
end of the
officially
month.
back?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay, cool.
towards the end of the
Oh,
month.
that's gonna be. That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good pick. He is the one to watch for everyone because
Yeah.
no one's really seen him play.
Really, bro.
Nottingham Forest. I went for Nikola Milenkovic.
From
From
Fiorentina.
Fiorentina, signing for 12 mil, great value for how
This one was tough
highly
for me.
rated he is. Obviously, he's played in Fiorentina for a while now, established in that league, very highly rated. For Serbia, he looked really good in the Euros. I know they went out the group stages, but he looked really good. Monstrous defender. From what I've seen of him, what I've heard of him, very highly spoken about. I've literally read up about him because of the Sky Sports video I did. It was like a top 10
Yeah, of
transfer,
course,
so I was
of course,
reading
of
a lot about him.
Yeah.
He's more of a player for me to watch. But I'm excited. I mean, it's everything sounds good, and the amount of money they're going for is
Good deal.
unreal.
He was
12 million
always
they
linked
signed
to
him for.
Spurs, United. He was always linked
Crazy
to these
for
big teams,
12
so.
million. It's mad. So a
Yeah.
very big, very tall, big defender as well.
Yeah.
Big presence.
For me, the biggest thing is with my player, it's consistency, stability, and progression.
I think we have the same player.
Ooh,
Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Yes. Yes.
Literally.
Because towards the end of last season,
Yep.
He started turning
you
up.
Honestly, it was the first time in years that you were seeing the player that we all saw
Yeah,
at Chelsea
100%.
those first few years. Yeah.
So it's more of that. Like,
Yeah.
can he do better numbers? Can we see? Not even. I know because he tore his Achilles at Chelsea, and that's a big
Yeah.
game
Yeah.
changer.
Yeah.
Just see if he can get maybe 40 or 50% of that level back.
Yeah.
That even because he had moments last year where it looked like the old Callum Hudson.
No,
He
honestly, it
looks
did.
comfortable as well.
Yeah.
He looks confident in terms of you can tell like he's more what's the word? He's more confident in the sense of he's striking the ball. Now he knows when he cuts in, he shoots. He's matured a lot. I think he's happy as well, especially with like the teammates he's got. I feel like Nottingham Forest has made him feel at home as well.
Yeah.
If that makes
I think
sense.
it's tough when you're a player that highly
100%.
touted. You're being linked to Bayern Munich for 50
Played
million.
for England before he played for
Chelsea
Chelsea,
fans
bro.
are literally begging your manager to play you as a teenager, and then you're probably thinking you're just destined for greatness. Like
Facts.
I'm not going to compare it to Lamine Yamal, but imagine Lamine Yamal tomorrow ripped his Achilles or something like that, and everything that we think about him, he just it's like Ansu Fati basically. Like,
Yeah, literally, bro.
So I think it must have been incredibly difficult to get his career back on track. Some people never even end up doing
Mental
it.
toll as
So
well.
big up to him, bro, and I hope he can continue kind of showing us
Facts.
what we saw last
A
year.
big word for me is environment. I
Yeah.
felt like him having to find somewhere like Nottingham Forest where the pressure's a bit down and it's a good seems like a good group of lads.
Give credit
Sorry,
to Nuno as well too, huh?
Yeah,
Because under
Nuno,
Steve
for
Cooper,
sure.
yeah.
he didn't really get much of a shot,
Yeah, yeah.
but I think he's got a good relationship with Elanga. We see them. They got a good relationship together. And listen, I think that I think this could be the chance for him to kind of give his career a little bit of a
I
reboot.
thought he was going to say Eddie and Ketia.
But they could go
He's
for
an
that.
Arsenal player.
He is an
I
Arsenal.
know,
player.
but
He's an
do you
Arsenal
know
player.
He's
how
actually
he plays?
doesn't sound
Arsenal's
yet.
number 14, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Historic number.
Iconic.
Abs could have done Eddie and Ketia.
Yeah, but it's
video
just
comes out.
14's for just another. It's not an iconic number outside
At
of
Arsenal.
Arsenal. Outside of
Oh,
Arsenal,
he's
Yeah,
an
in
Arsenal
Arsenal.
player.
in general,
He's
In
an
Arsenal.
Arsenal player.
huh?
He's an Arsenal player.
Yeah,
I know,
actually,
but
he's
14
contracted at
is-
Arsenal.
Yeah, but number 14 is just a number, right? What's that got to do with anything?
No, I'm just saying at Arsenal. That's a very historic number.
Yeah, Theo
Like the
Walcott
number
wore
7 at Man United is.
Theo Walcott.
Only Theo
Pierre-Emerick
Walcott?
Aubameyang.
Yeah.
Right.
Who else?
it.
Anyone
Aubameyang
else?
wore it. Oh, Aubameyang's done very well.
Tough boots to fill.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Anyone else? No, I don't think so.
Just an Olympic
What's he-
silver medalist manager.
Yeah.
Oh.
Couldn't even win gold at
Silver.
home.
Yeah.
Oh,
Has he stepped down?
Huh?
He
Yeah,
did.
Oh, lost the job.
Didn't win a single Champions League for Arsenal.
Oh, well. It's not.
Interviewed me though, so it's a big highlight.
He
in his career.
interviewed you?
Yeah. I interviewed him.
No, you lost it.
Thierry Henry, he interviewed you?
Henri, bien sûr.
He said, do you know what he said? Interviewed me. It was a big highlight of his career.
Yeah. I didn't see that cut.
I hear it though.
I didn't see
Like,
that edit.
sometimes you got to help out retired footballers, man.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
I didn't see that edit.
Boost up their PR a little
The
bit.
PR didn't release it.
Southampton. Oh my, I struggled, bro.
Jeez.
I went with Edozie, innit?
Yeah, I went
Can't
Joe
lie.
Aribo.
Yeah. I hear it.
Did you actually?
Yeah.
Flynn Downs.
Flynn Downs,
Downs is a
yeah,
shout.
Flynn Downs.
No, down the shout.
From
Hometown
West
kid,
Ham.
right?
From
Yeah.
West Ham.
He's originally from
Like the
Southampton.
I mean, yeah. He played so many places. And I went for the loanee. This was more, once again, this one's for me to watch.
Yeah.
They loaned from Chelsea, Leslie.
Oh, good shock. Whoa.
That's a good shout, actually.
Exactly,
Yeah.
that's-
This is actually a good shot.
I want to see what he does there. You know, we didn't really get to see much of that. Chelsea doesn't get much minutes. You know, I want to see how he plays there. Let's see how he does. That's what I went for. I
Amazing.
struggled at Southampton.
Yeah.
Edozie is a good player, but I mean,
Yeah,
like
it's, what is it? Is it his third professional year in football?
Do you know when he came on, the Newcastle fans in St James's Park started booing him because they thought he was Ben Beretta Diaz. Swear to God, you got to say it to him.
I'm not gonna lie though.
And the hell was down, and they started saying booing him.
Newcastle, the stands are
Yeah.
high. It is high. If you're pretty high up, it's tough.
You got to adjust.
No, I heard
It is
so.
tough.
No, that killed me. When I was,
They booed him.
they booed him because they thought it was Ben Beretta Diaz.
He's like,
Like, he's like, bro, I'm just like, hold on, man.
What? Yeah, I mean, Leslie,
Good shot,
that was
dude.
my pick.
That's a good shot.
Spurs.
Frankie de Jong.
Take your.
Yeah,
Bergvall.
Lucas
Bergvall.
Bergvall.
Yeah, same.
Bergvall.
How about
Bergvall.
Archie Gray? Just
Archie
in case.
yeah.
Even though Bergvall is a top player, yeah, but Archie Gray is.
That's a great pick.
That's not a bad. I'm different.
No,
Like,
it's
that's
not. It's not. Bergvall's more. I'm different. Bergvall's more.
Bergvall's very, very impressive, but I think
Congolese.
Archie Gray for Spurs to get him.
No, if you
at-
said Mikey
when
Moore,
they
now you're
did-
different.
Yeah, that's- I'm
Mikey
different.
Moore is different.
Yeah.
Mikey Moore is.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Mikey Moore. Take no. Go
No,
on.
no, I think for Spurs to get him from Leeds when they did, that's a top coup, man. Honestly, that's one of the best.
I
signings
remember
of the
he was.
summer.
I remember he was basically going Brentford like done
Yeah,
deal.
that was guaranteed.
Yeah.
And then that's one of them ones where he goes to Brentford, probably balls out a few years, and you have to buy him for like 100 mil or like 80 mil to get him when they did for the price they did.
Great coup.
I think he's
Does that
so
does
so
that
good,
does
man.
that go under obviously because we went Bergvall, you went Archie Gray. Does that go under Spurs' like hierarchy and like team in terms of signing players that are highly rated, but they've got the XP as well
Yeah, I guess
compared to Chelsea?
Like, I'm not
looking
gonna
at it
lie
in
and pretend like I know Spurs is like bored and how they recruit
No,
players.
yeah.
I'm not familiar with their game, but
No, but
for
I'm
me,
saying-
in
I'm
terms
saying
of, like,
within-
how you look at the recruitment in the last 2 years under
Yeah.
Ange, and I don't know, is Paratici still involved?
Free him, man.
free and
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Free Paratici.
Again,
I don't know.
I'm being very blunt here,
Free him, man.
but the recruitment's been very good.
I think
since Ange
bar
came in.
maybe Timo Werner.
And even
every
that's an
other signing,
opportunity
I'm
sign.
like,
Brennan Johnson.
Yeah,
as a signing.
I've said this to you, man. I don't like Brennan Johnson for that price.
Yeah, maybe
Charleston
not,
for that price,
but
but they're
Richarlison's
not.
them.
They're further
Richarlison's-
down the
Richarlison
line.
was not under Ange.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In it, like under Ange,
Yeah. No, fair enough. But
Brennan Johnson and
I think Archie Gray. I think honestly,
pick.
you're looking at a guy he could potentially break into the England team this year.
Good pick.
I think he's that good. Yeah.
Yeah,
I hear it.
Probably Adam Morton. England
Yeah,
are producing these now
for sure.
technically elite level midfielders. I think
Yeah.
he's next up.
For sure.
All from the
play a
Midlands as
fullback,
well, man.
play a fullback, play the six. You
Yeah.
know,
not Midlands, but yeah,
good player.
like, up there. Yeah,
Where is he from? Where is he from?
Who?
Archie Gray. You said.
Leeds, no?
Oh, you're from Leeds. Oh, that's
Oh,
Yorkshire, then, no?
Yeah, I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. It's
That's
not Midlands.
further up.
Yeah,
West Ham. Last final two
West
clubs.
Ham.
Todibo, I went for.
Jean-Claire Todibo.
You went for him as well, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, just
I went
because we were so.
I went for some. Sorry, go on.
It's only a loan, but
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I
he's
just
a-
think
But
it's-
it's loan with an option to buy, which
Yeah, and I
basically
think
is
they
going to
will-
get triggered.
I think they will
Yeah,
trigger.
Yeah.
out of all of the summer signings, he's obviously one that we were linked to quite strongly, and so Jim said,
So you guys are always involved.
yeah, we are because he was saying that he wanted to join the club,
Yeah.
wanted to join United, but couldn't because of whatever UEFA laws that they have right now, because it's
they're both owned by
they're both Ineos.
Sidrum.
Yeah.
Oh, my brother.
Gang
And
ties.
yeah, so that's unfortunately it couldn't work out. But I want to see how he does. How does he do in the Premier League? How does he do defending channels? He looks like he's a decent defender. Let's see how he does, man, especially on the ball as well.
For me, it's not a fan favorite. It's just more of like a redemption, like revenge kind of thing. I went with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I can't lie.
Revenge on who?
As in, like, just on his haters.
On all
Like,
his doubters.
look at Abs. I'm smiling, going, Alhamdulillah, he's gone. This,
Well, Abs. Wan-Bissaka's on an Abs revenge tour.
it's more or less. But no, for me, like,
Sorry, Aaron.
obviously,
Yes, too.
yeah.
I don't care
Yeah.
for or against Wan-Bissaka. He's just
No,
a player that played for my club.
100%. But I feel like he's even though Abs and you don't really rate him to, he's such a massive upgrade on Sufar, man. Such a massive upgrade.
This guy,
Now that they've got Emerson bombing up from the left-hand side, what do you think? You can have him
Yes.
sitting like,
Of course I do. Like,
especially with the talent around him as well, where he's got Bowen in front of him, or sometimes he's got Kudus, he's got Paqueta, Edson Alvarez. Like, he's got a lot of talented players around him. He's back in London. There's no pressure. And one of the biggest things, there's no pressure at West Ham. West Ham are a big club.
West Ham's a big club.
West Ham's a
There's
big
lot of
club.
pressure.
No, but compare that to
60,000
Manchester United.
fans.
That pressure that you hit with Manchester United compared to West Ham. Like, he could go West Ham, have a shit game, go tape, go yard. You could do that.
Nah, facts.
At Man United, you get
China
caught.
White.
You
Nah,
get-
Rashi's there. It's long.
I think
Rashi's already
the
there.
one to watch for me this year,
He needs a new environment as well.
Who's your one?
Kudos. And you're going to say, oh, he's already a top player. I think Kudus is potentially like a year away from making like an 80 million plus pound move to
Arsenal.
Liverpool, Arsenal, City.
Why did that?
What's the difference between saying him and Paqueta?
Paqueta, bro, you got that case over.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, that's my boy.
He's got a Rico on his
You
head.
know I
man.
love
Yes,
Paqueta.
I thought you'd go
but
there if you went
he
for
got a
Kudus.
clock ticking over his head right now, bro. Yo, his career might end tomorrow, man.
It's true.
He's living every single day like his last. Like, I hope he makes that big move, but man, it's not looking good. Kudus is top. Oh, he's so good, bro. Like, no disrespect to West Ham. Like you said, big club. I don't know how you guys got this guy. Honestly, all those Ajax players we could have signed, we missed out on him.
Well, yeah, that's a crazy.
You
one.
guys signed a right winger
He's
from Ajax. You decided to
unreal.
go with.
Kudus is crazy, man. I think, like I'm telling you, this is the year. I think he had a great year last year.
Kudus.
This is a
Let's put
potentially
Kudus.
a breakout year this year for him.
No, 100%. He's just below. Like he reminds me a lot of Amad Diallo. Kudus, yeah.
How?
In terms of like, they are both left-footed black
Nice.
players that
Oh, thank you very much.
have got
I thought
good.
Diallo was
Do you know,
right.
I just
thought
knew.
it was worth it.
I just knew. Let me just search a little bit deeper here because I don't think there's a lot of substance behind what you just
Zero.
said there.
No,
I think there's not a lot of substance here. I don't know that's why.
To the 1%ers, 2:33 in the morning. Like, we'll talk about Kudus. Well, I got work in about 5 hours. Like,
I love it.
Thank you. Breaking the 4-4. I really like that.
Wolves is the last team.
Who's your West Ham player?
He's
Saliba
Todibo
as well.
Okay. Wolves.
Yeah.
this is actually one of the few I actually like. I'm actually looking forward to watching. I know he's not going to get much game time, but
Yeah.
I'm actually excited about him. Pedro Lima,
Okay, yeah, the one who
right
stole
back
it
that
from
just
Chelsea.
signed from Flamengo.
Yeah, okay.
I've seen a bit of his tape in terms of Twitter and YouTube. I can't lie.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Say I watch.
That's where you're gonna see it most of the time.
Exactly. Yeah, I think he's close to being better than Semedo. Semedo just got the XP on his head.
Yeah.
17 years old, going on 18.
Well, there you go. Very exciting.
Light
prospect
skinned
for him.
guy. Saw him at the Emirates.
Well, there you go.
Pickups.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see you, brother.
I went Joao Gomez.
Same.
Just like the look at him last season.
Bit
I don't know.
of a- bit of an
Wolves,
obvious
yeah,
pick.
it's a,
You know what?
I struggled a little bit. With Wolves, but the only thing, like, I feel like
He's
Wolves
didn't think it's
produce.
the obvious pick, and we know how good he is.
The reason why I feel like Wolves produce these midfielders that are just out of nowhere, like the same with Matheus Nunes, that are just guys who can do so many things. Joao Gomez looks like an energy off the ball. Looks like he's a very good carrier of the ball, secure in many all thirds of the game. So, yeah, I feel like it's an obvious pick for me. I want to see how he kicks on this season because Wolves, having sold players, are kind of restricted financially this season.
They are.
Very, very
They
tough
came
restrictions.
out and
aren't
said
they?
like they've only got 20 million to spend. And
Even
they're
though
looking
they've
to spend it
sold
on,
Pedro Neto for
yeah, no, him and Kilman both came.
both
went
were
in
gone.
there,
Yeah,
so
Kilman's even gone to West Ham as
100
well.
million pounds.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Who'd
What
you
can
have?
you do?
I went for Larson, who they just
Striker.
signed. Yeah, I mean he's like here on loan, obligate or whatever. They buy him for 30 million the next year. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't seen much of him. I'm
So
just
figure
this
it
is,
out.
Started
this,
against us, didn't he?
this is one of them ones for me. Just kind of like you guys said for a few previous ones. I just want to see him.
Yeah.
Don't know too much
Let's
about
see-
him.
let's see how he looks.
one to
So
watch.
no one wants to see Mosquera. First?
I've seen
Nah,
him.
Not anymore. I've seen enough. I think he's seen enough.
He just doesn't want to see it.
He's seen enough. Havertz has seen enough.
We've all seen him. We've all seen him.
We can't forget him.
I mean, that's all the teams. I mean, I'd love for you guys to let us know who you guys are keeping an eye on and who you think we should keep an eye on, especially for your team. If you support a team in the Premier League,
And make your own list as well.
Let us know. Make your own list. That'll be amazing. All 20. If you have time to do 20 players, please do it. We'd love to see it. And then we'll see you in a few days for another video very soon. And yeah, Mastermind also starting very soon as well. If you've been watching all the announcements, it should be out by now. If not, then keep looking out for the announcements. All on our social media. SDS_pod on Twitter, SDS pod on Instagram and TikTok. Check us out. Watch everything. And we will see you very soon. Bye-bye.